Hi everybody, it's Bets again, and today I'm going to tell you a true story about something that happened to me in 2011. Now, back in 2011, I had this gigantic aquarium that was 75 gallons made of glass. And in the aquarium, I had 3 fish, and I kept it up all by myself. I put in the chemicals, and I took care of everything for about 8 years. Now, one day an accident happened. I accidentally got the chemicals from the fish tank in my eyes, and the chemicals burned my eyes all the way down to the retina. And they caused a chemical burn, and I was legally blind for 4 weeks, almost a month. And chemical burns are kind of tricky because the doctor wasn't sure if my vision was going to come back or not, or how much it would come back. So basically during that time, I had a little dilemma. I was working as a freelance writer at the time. I remember one day I held the manuscript up to my face this closely, and I could not read the words on the page. And so obviously I couldn't read, which was a problem since I was a writer, editor. I couldn't see the words on the computer screen, on the television screen. I couldn't watch TV or go on the internet. I couldn't see words on the signs on the road or billboards, so I couldn't drive. I couldn't even see the faces of my loved ones. Obviously, this was a problem, and we didn't know if the problem was going to go away. We didn't know if my vision was going to come back or not. So I had to face the reality that this blindness or this visual impairment was going to be permanent. And at the time, I had a really grim view of it. I just thought, that's it. Life as I know it is over. And I kind of had a really negative view. But then I thought, you know what? There's lots of blind people out there. And those blind people have wonderful, happy, fulfilling lives. And if they can have happy, fulfilling lives without their vision, then why can't I? And so I decided that I was still going to enjoy my life, even though I couldn't see. I was just going to find different ways to do all the things that I enjoyed doing. Why not? So one of the things that I was doing at the time that I really enjoyed was I was playing the keyboards in my church worship band. Now, that was a little bit difficult because I couldn't see the music that was sitting on the stand. But I decided to find a way around it. I have a degree in music theory composition. So I decided that what I was going to do is I was going to go early to band rehearsal, and I was going to learn all the songs by ear, and I was going to memorize them, and I was still going to be able to play the keyboard in the church worship service, even though I couldn't see the music. So I remember the first Sunday, somebody dropped me off at the band practice before church, and I got in there, and the worship leader, he looked at me, and he said, "Bets, are you sure you can do this?" And I said, "Yes, I want to do this." And so that morning, I listened to all the songs, and I kind of learned them by ear on the keyboard, and I just kind of memorized them because I was determined to be able to play. Ironically, one of the songs we were playing that morning was Have a Talk with God by Stevie Wonder. Ironic, it was a song by a blind keyboardist that we were playing that morning. But I was determined. I learned all the songs by ear, and I just memorized them so I could play them in church that morning. Well, that morning in church, all the people gathered in. And most of them had heard about my injury by then. So when they saw me up there on the keyboards, they were a little nervous because they thought, oh boy, blind girl up on the keyboard is going to play. This ought to be very interesting. But you know what? I didn't let it faze me. I knew I could do this. I knew the music. I was ready to play. This is something I really wanted to do. So when it came time to play Have a Talk with God by Stevie Wonder, I decided to have a little bit of fun. I had these sunglasses on my head. So when the music started, I put my sunglasses on, and I started playing the keyboard and swaying back and forth. And a lot of people in the audience got the joke. A song by a blind keyboardist being played by the band, and here I am with my sunglasses on. Most people knew I couldn't see, and I was just swaying back and forth as I was playing on the keyboard. Heath, our worship leader, didn't think it was too funny, so I had to take the sunglasses off. But what that did was that kind of loosened the mood up, At first, people were nervous when they saw me up there, but once I started playing around, making a joke, everybody stopped worrying about me, and they knew I was going to be okay. But most importantly, I knew I was going to be okay, because even though I couldn't see, I still found a way to do everything I loved. And so my vision eventually came back, after about 4 weeks, I got my vision back. But I will never forget that event, because what it taught me was that even though it was hard being able to do all those things without my vision, I learned that with a little bit of determination and a whole lot of humor, I can get through any difficult situation. And I hope you all know that too. So if you learn to laugh at yourself, learn to have a little bit of fun, and you can get through anything. So that's my advice to you. Just have a little bit of fun through any difficult circumstances. Learn to laugh, and it will take you a lot further than a whole lot of worry and a whole lot of hard work.